Hello and welcome to Daily Space for today, October 30th, 2019. It is the day before Halloween in the US, so we are going to do a little bit of spooky stuff today. There's nothing wrong with your monitor, telephone, TV, color calibration. I have purposely made myself look spoopy. Or spooky. In lieu of costumes, I have these cute little skeleton gloves. So, yes, happy early Halloween, everybody. And of course, we have news. As soon as I find it. Okay, there we go. So, alright. So, yeah. Whew. For those of you that are new, we do Daily Space most Mondays through Fridays. I am your host, Annie Wilson. And if I'm not bringing you Daily Space, Dr. Pamela Gay is. So, this is just a quick rundown of all that is new in space and astronomy. And usually on Wednesdays we do Rocket Roundup, but nothing went to space this week. So we're going to chat about other space-related stuff instead. Okay. All right. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. Let's do this. All right. So first up, the thing that everybody's been asking this week all about, the X-ray 37 Bravo. For those of you who are unaware, that is the smallest space plane ever. And it is indeed operated by the U.S. Air Force, and it ended its last mission October 27th after a record-setting 780 days in space. That is over 2 years. The previous record was 718. The vehicle itself is unclassified, but the Air Force has been quiet about many of the payloads that the craft has carried, and this flight was no exception. So, here is the image that our instro found for y'all. And yes, I know there are people in hazmat suits. We'll get to that. Because yeah, before I go any further, we need to address those hazmat suits. The recovery team is wearing them. Spoiler alert, it's not aliens. They're not wearing them because of aliens. The propellant used in the X-ray 37 Bravo is that nasty stuff that we talk about often, the unsymmetrical dimethylhydrazine in nitrogen tetraoxide. These compounds are a great compromise between liquid and solid fuel. They're stable and able to be throttled. What they aren't great for is living beings, including humans. Both compounds are highly toxic and definitely not something you want to be anywhere near without some kind of protective equipment. So, yeah. That's why they're in hazmat suits. It's not aliens. It's for their own protection from these very nasty chemicals that apparently the U.S. only uses, to my knowledge, in this particular craft. Okay, so what exactly was the X-ray 37 Bravo doing in space for all this time? Honestly, we really don't know because most of the information relating to the mission is classified. Other than an announcement when it took off back in 2017, the Advanced Structurally Embedded Thermal Spreader, or Alpha Sierra Echo Tango Sierra 11, created by the Air Force Research Laboratory to test experimental electronics and oscillating heat pipes in the long-duration space environment. Typically, the USAF, the U.S. Air Force, doesn't speak much about the payloads aboard these craft. We do know that the bay doors, like the space shuttle, open, so it's quite possible that experiments and hardware were mounted inside the cargo bay and then just exposed to space. And then for landing, it's closed back up and lands like the shuttle did, like an airplane. While having tests and experiments inside the cargo bay isn't controversial, there has been some noise about the X-ray 37 Bravo potentially launching smallsats. In press releases from the U.S. Air Force, a rideshare with smallsats is mentioned, which has led some to speculate that the craft has been launching undeclared satellites in orbit. For those of you unaware, there is literally a UN space treaty that the US has signed and ratified, and part of that treaty involves disclosing and registering when and where objects are launched into space. This is serious stuff. However, no objects were observed departing the craft by either amateur or professional satellite trackers. So, it allegedly deployed several small satellites, but people have not observed any objects departing the craft. I want to make that very clear. Very clear. So, yeah. And I'm sure, as Falco Online says, name one treaty the U.S. has signed and not broken. I challenge you. We're not going to get into politics. I avoid talking about politics because I would rather talk about space. But yeah, it would be a big no-no. And I don't know if any of that's, a thing. But I'm just reporting what I know. So yeah. Anyways, we have some bonus facts about the X-Ray 37 Bravo for you. As I mentioned, the X-Ray 37 Bravo has payload doors like the Space Shuttle. Unlike the Space Shuttle, the craft systems are powered via a solar panel which deploys once the doors are open. So the doors have to open anyways. And this is literally one of the secrets to its ability to stay in orbit for so long. In contrast, the shuttle was powered by hydrogen fuel cells, which provided lots of energy but only for a limited time. Space shuttle flights had to be limited to a maximum of about 3 weeks before having to land or risk going dead in space. Okay. Bonus fact number 2. When landing, the OTV, X-Ray 37 Bravo, uses its thrusters to perform a de-orbit burn via command sent from ground-based controllers. Once in the atmosphere, it relies on aerodynamic controls surfaces, which to me is a whole bunch of fancy speak for moving stuff on the wings and etc. To provide attitude and direction. Much like the larger space shuttle from which this was derived, the craft performs a series of high-altitude S-turns under automatic pilot before eventually lining up for landing with the runway at Kennedy. Whew. All right. Bonus fact number 3. In another nod to the old STS program, the current X-Ray 37s are serviced and refurbished by Boeing at a shuttle-era hangar which is accessible from the runway there on the grounds of Kennedy Space Center. And bonus fact number 4, or actually 2, yes 2, X-Ray 37 Bravo vehicles in service, and the U.S. Air Force revealed during a current press release that they were both doing fine. However, there are no obvious Why are my buttons not working? Oh, they were. The U.S. Air Force revealed during a press release that they are both doing fine. However, there are no obvious external differences between them, and it is not known which one made this particular trip. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up because I'm sure there are questions about this, and I'm going to do my best to answer those questions while while this is all fresh in our memory. So, yes, they did mention the rideshare. The small sats could have just been in the payload bay, mounted, and that would be a valid test of hardware without actually releasing anything into the getting more crowded by the day satellite stuff around the Earth. I know there's a very technical term, and the very technical term is eluding me at the moment. But To me, that's a very valid way of testing satellite hardware without actually launching it. And that may have been what happened. They said rideshare. They never said anything about deployment. I don't know. Looks like Falco says, looks like the first guy is walking his invisible dog. He actually has the first person, because I don't want to assume that it's a male, the first person actually has this little thing, a wheel on a stick, and I've seen that used when people are doing surveying work, so it's probably measuring some sort of distance. Some sort of distance. Broken Symmetry says, that craft is smaller than I thought it would be. Yes, it is tiny. It is not nearly as big as the space shuttle. I didn't write down the actual dimensions of like the length and wingspan, but it is very small. It is small enough. Hey, Econ Greg. I'm gonna have to hand feed Cheerios. No, she wants down on the ground for the Cheerios. How about I put them on my desk? Okay. No, okay. All right, I'll toss Cheerios and stuff at the end. It is small enough to go inside of the fairing of like a Falcon 9, which is what this particular one was launched with the last time. They can also be launched on an Atlas 501. So yeah, they're actually protected by payload fairings when they're sent up into orbit. So, let's see, is there anything else? No, there's no arm on this at all. And Kerbal says you could fit it in the shuttle's payload bay. Yes, that was actually one of the original plans for how to deploy it until they realized that it was just uneconomical to do so. It was just uneconomical to do so. Cement says that X-Ray 37 is so small you'd never think that there's enough room inside for Mark Zuckerberg's crew cabin. So yeah. The Gravity says, I'm a bit confused. Was Dr. Pamela Gay just broadcasting in her pumpkin sweatshirt? She streamed yesterday. She did stream yesterday. I stream on Wednesdays. Okay. So, Larry Weird is saying the X-Ray 37 Charlie will have room for people. I believe so. I do believe so. All right. So, that's all with that story. We're going to move on to this. So, Northrop Grumman is investigating a possible failure of a solar array aboard Eutelsat 5 West Bravo. Oof. Okay. Here's a picture of the satellite. And yeah, this is one that was just launched like this month. And I believe we did cover this launch, unless it was way too early for me. So the Eutelsat 5 West Bravo, launched October 9th, 2019, is reported to have an issue with one of its two solar panel arrays. The problem apparently developed as it approached its planned test location in a circular orbit close to its planned GEO location at 5 degrees west longitude, hence the name, with an altitude of about 36 kilometers above the Earth's surface. For Americans, that's 22,300 miles. U.S. military tracking data indicate the craft achieved this orbit under its own power and seemingly without issue. The solar ray problem seems to have cropped up after arriving at its test orbit. In a very terse, unilluminating statement released on Thursday, October 24th, 2019, the company announced that, quote, an incident occurred on one of the two solar arrays on the Eutelsat 5 West Bravo satellite as it approached its orbital test location. An inquiry with Northrop Grumman to investigate the causes of the incident and assess the impact on the performance of the satellite is underway, end quote. No further details were given. However, a complete failure of one of the two arrays would likely render the craft largely unable to perform its primary mission in anything other than a highly limited capacity. The statement reiterated the fact that Utel 5 West Bravo is fully insured against failure from launch through the first full year of orbital operations, reportedly at nearly $200 million US. The Eutelsat 5 West satellite, still in operation at this time. So Bravo was meant to be a replacement or work in that same orbital slot. I can't remember at the moment. It's just the second satellite in that same orbital slot. So the first one that's in that slot, essentially Alpha, was still in operation at this time and brought an estimated $33.3 million in revenue last year. Whew. All right, so in addition to its regular communications payload, the spacecraft also hosts a European geostationary navigation overlay service module. In active service since 2011, the EGNOS augments the satellite signals received from other global navigation programs such as GPS or Galileo or GLONASS, and is intended to provide augmented capability during particular activities where high resolution may be required, such as shipping, navigation within narrow channels, or aircraft on final navigation and landing. This payload aboard the satellite provides upgraded data and testing intended to validate the third version of the system, which is expected to provide greater security, interoperability, access to consumers with and beyond the EU member states. At this time, there's been no word from Eutelsat nor the European Global Navigation Satellite Systems Agency, or GSA, the agency which operates this whole system, as to the effects this incident may have on the operational capability of this navigational payload. The Mike Echo Victor 1 craft, which launched aboard the same ILS Proton M rocket as the Eutelsat 5 West Bravo, is reportedly doing fine. That's good, and is in the lengthy process of raising its orbit to the altitude location of its first commercial climb. It is operating as planned and in all respects to this point, and is expected to rendezvous with IS 901 early next year. So that MEV craft is meant to tow? Provide more power? I can't remember at the moment. But it's supposed to essentially lengthen the operational lifetime of that IS 901 satellite. Okay, so all right, that was a whole lot. Yes, as our intro says, the MEV-1 is supposed to go and dock with the IS 901 to lengthen its stuff. All right. And yes, that was never supposed to occur. All right, so I'm scrolling up. Hanny's yes, Hanny. I think Hanny came in a little bit late and was asking about the hazmat suits. Yeah, the fuel toxic. You don't want to inhale toxic fuel. I don't see any questions about this. I don't see any questions about this, so I guess we're gonna move on. So that was pretty much all of the serious news for today. I still have some more things for you. Don't panic. These are mostly in line with the, time of season it is. So the first less serious thing I have for you is this. I have a couple of photos. This is the first one. It is within a module on the ISS. I didn't have enough time to track down which module. For those of you that can't quite see the image, it's the module that the photo was taken in is dark and has kind of a green tint, and the module after that is all lit up. This is the ISS at night. This is the International Space Station at night. Night is kind of a tricky thing, and we'll get to that in a second. So these spooky photos of the ISS at night come from ESA astronaut Alexander Grest, who took them in 2014, so 5 years ago. Because the ISS orbits the Earth, the crew aboard experience 16 sunrises and sunsets a day. Multiple sunrises and sunsets are awesome, but not practical for timekeeping. Instead, the astronauts and cosmonauts work on a diurnal schedule, meaning, awake and asleep. Awake and asleep during, and movement during daylight hours. So opposite of nocturnal, because a lot of you have heard nocturnal instead of diurnal. And that schedule's set by UTC. Rather than using the rising or setting sun, because A, you're seeing 16 of each every day, and B, windows are kind of rare on the ISS aside from the cupola. So while the crew is sleeping, most of the lights are turned down or off to simulate the usual darkness that our brains associate with sleep. So, So, as I said, this is a module. I'm not entirely too sure which module. I didn't have enough time to track that down. My apologies. And here is another image of the inside of the ISS at night of literally 2 spacesuits for EVAs, extravehicular activity, with the helmets either removed or covered. There's some sort of thing on there, and that's kind of spooky at night, at dark. So, yeah. And yes, Veronica, the crew do all sleep at the same time. There's no rotating shifts. Everybody sleeps at the same time. There's no fire guard, so to speak. Those of you that were in the U.S. military, or at least the U.S. Army, know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Hanny's asked, do the windows have shades so the sun does not come in? Yes. The cupola has protective screens or shades on the windows. I don't know about all the other windows. I know 4 windows are on airlocks, and a lot of the other windows I was able to find were small and on the Russian portion of the ISS. I wasn't able to find how many windows were on the US portion of the ISS aside from the cupola, which has 7 windows, and they're all quite big. So there's at least 14 windows on the ISS for people that are asking. It is minority of surface area, so there really aren't a whole lot. They're mostly very small. A lot of the images you see taken of the Earth from the ISS are actually taken from the cupola. So, Larry's asking, did the Apollo-nauts use UTC? I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe? I don't know if they adopted UTC simply because of the international nature, things of that, etc. Mythtown asks, what are the windows even made of? Essentially bulletproof glass, many layers of it. Many layers. Oh, Jean Derloon comes in with an answer about the Apollo-nauts. They use CST, Central Standard Time, which is the same time zone as Houston, to match mission, which is where mission control is. Thank you, Arnstro and Jean Derloon. And Broken Symmetry says, and the Dock craft have a small window too. The Soyuz craft have 2 small windows, one on each side. And they are all of these windows are many inches thick. Many inches thick. They're not like windows you'd see in a house. Think more like windows you'd see on a submarine, or if you've ever been to anything with high up in the air with like glass or see-through observation platform. The glass on there is also many inches thick. Hanny's asks, is one of the windows near the bathroom? I don't remember. Maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, because of all the radiation, you really want to make sure the windows are thick to protect the astronauts because, yeah, stuff and things and stuff. Between the radiation and the pressure, you really want thick windows. Arnstro adds they're made of laminates like a bulletproof ballistic window. So, yeah. Think submarine, think, you know, glass observation platform above any times of things. Yeah. Chandra adds NASA is going to replace the ISS window glass with Alpha Lima Oscar November, which I don't know what that stands for, though. Apparently transparent aluminum does exist, but it's very expensive. Okay. I did not know transparent aluminum was a thing. Thank you for teaching me something new. Okay, any more questions about windows and nighttime and daytime and things of that nature for the ISS? Going once, going twice. What shape are they? Mostly round. Except for the cupola, most of the windows are round. That's mostly a math thing. Oh, the Alpha Lima Oscar November is the transparent aluminum. Kerbal asks, how many toilets are in space this week? Wait, we'll get there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. All right, so now to some more fun stuff. This is not from this year. This photo is not from this year. But yes, for those of you that are curious, yes, Halloween is celebrated on the International Space Station. This is a photo of last year's Halloween costumes with ESA astronaut Alexander Gerst dressed as the Star Wars character Darth Vader with a red lightsaber. The Russian cosmonaut, I am going to slaughter this name and I am so sorry, Sergei Prokofiev as Elvis, complete with a guitar. And NASA astronaut Serena, oh my, unknown chancellor? I am so sorry. Is taking science to the extreme while wearing a skull and crossbones badged lab coat. And that lab coat is actually the same one she had while she was finishing one of her advanced degrees. The tradition will probably continue for this year, but we'll have to wait to see what the crew dresses up as. So, yeah. That's a fun thing that they do. I enjoy it. Yeah. Lanny says that should make levitation with the Force much easier. I agree. All right. So, moving on, because somebody asked me about toilets, and I can't, let toilets go. Yes, I have a whole news story on toilets. Finally, the news update none of you asked for, but are getting anyways, because space toilets. On October 25th, Commander Luca Parmitano? We're going with Parmitano. Again, I am so sorry. Performed maintenance on one of the toilets on the ISS. The orbital outhouse in the Tranquility module needed a few hydraulic components replaced. Because toilets are considered mission critical, at least one crew member knows how to perform routine maintenance and repairs on them. Next month, this particular toilet will have been in space for 11 years. And yup, still 4 toilets in space. All right. So, yeah, that is all the news I have for you today. And I know we have bits to throw and jelly beans to eat while I renegotiate things and scroll up through chat. While I renegotiate things and scroll up through chat, I'm going to take this opportunity to remind you that we, CosmoQuest, and this is a production of PSI, that's Planetary Science Institute, located in Tucson, Arizona. The script was written by myself, hi, Annie, and Arnstro, also known as Dave Bullard, and we are produced by Susie Murph. And I will give you the rest of the wall of text later. All right. So, yes, proceed the questions. And it's time to start throwing Cheerios, because I know we had at least 2. We had a sub and some things. Alright, so here's the first one for the sub. Ready, Tinker? And make it rain! Oh, Pucks, are you gonna be good, Puck? Alright, I have whining puppy dog. Oh, I'm sorry, Yval, that you missed everything. Alright. Release the other dog. And this is for the first 100 bits. Make it rain! And the second 100 bits. Make it rain! Alright, I think I'm all caught up there. Or was there a third? I am really going to have to scroll up to find out. Because I remember a sub and that Econ Greg. There's Econ Greg's. And so it's 1 jelly bean. And Wayne Johnson for another jelly bean. And I think that's it. So just 2 jelly beans. All right. These are either going to be barf or peach or dead fish or strawberry smoothie. I can't tell the difference between them. All right. Not a good one. Zero out of 2. Oof. All right. Oof. All right. For those of you that feel bad about these jelly beans, please don't. This was self-inflicted, and the more you guys give me bits, the faster they go away. I'm not doing this jelly bean. Hey, this jelly bean thing again. Those of you that have no idea what I'm doing, I have Bean Boozled jelly beans, and there's 10 different colors, but 20 potentially different flavors. All right, Wayne Johnson. He's like, I see you, and I raise you. All right, so we have either spoiled milk or coconut, and canned dog food or chocolate pudding. I don't think this is chocolate pudding. Oh no, wait. I think it's coconut. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This is definitely not chocolate pudding. Yeah, Hanny, the white ones start off as not tasting great, but then they taste fine at the end, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I am misinterpreting those or what, but alright, yeah, Larry's like, I not mind if we lose these beans. I am in total agreement, and for anybody that's like, we want this to continue, I have Harry Potter's every flavor Bernie Bott's beans, and those are next. So, whew, at least those I can figure out what I'm eating. Alright, so, thank you for the bits. Thank you for the bits. And more bits for the dogs, because I know that's what y'all really want to see. Falco Online says about the toilet's worst affliction ever is food poisoning. You don't know which end point towards the toilet. Agreed. Agreed. Oh my goodness, food poisoning is terrible. And how many bits to toss the box? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 900 bits. 900 bits or 1,000 bits and I'll just toss the entire box. We only have 900 more bits to get through to get rid of this box. We can do it, y'all. We can do it. Oh, champagne beans. Thank you for the reminder, Larry. And I do have champagne beans, non-alcoholic, on my desk. Oh, well. So, what do you want me to do, Wayne? Do you want me to eat them all, or do you want me to toss the box? As I wait impatiently for the response. I'm going to assume he wants me to toss the box. Okay. We have it. Wayne has said, Wayne has spoken, toss the box. Here's the trash can. Here's the box. Gone. Alright, thank you, Wayne. Seriously, you are awesome. Thank you for making them go away. Thank you for making them go away. I did. It's gone. It's gone. Thank you so much. Oof. Alright. Alright, thank you. Because I thought it would be fun, and very few of you have enjoyed that. Very few of you. Oof. I like the champagne ones better. I think fun jelly beans are good. So, okay. Alright, so yes, thank you, Wayne. And all the bits. Actually, you wanna know what? I'll give the dogs the good treats for this. Hey, 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 hey! I know you're excited. Are you ready? They're like, yeah. Let me dig out the good treats for the dogs. See if I can get a whole handful. I'm going to have to go get you guys more treats. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow while I'm out. Alright, so, can't see it. These are definitely not Cheerios. Yeah, definitely not Cheerios. And make it rain! And we'll see which one gobbles them up first. And some Cheerios for good measure. So thank you so much, Wayne. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Alright, everybody's happy. The dogs are happy. The people that were tired of watching me eat bad jelly beans are happy. Alright, so, any more questions? I don't think I saw a whole lot of questions. So I guess let's do the, Broken Symmetry says, I hope the dogs don't dig out the beans from the trash. Oh no. Veronica spammed a whole bunch of happy symbols and Nightbot was like, no. Tinker probably can knock over that trash can and get the beans out, so I'll throw them away in the big trash can that she can't knock over. Which, if she tries hard, she can still knock over, but I'll make sure she won't. Yeah. So some housekeeping things. Tomorrow's gonna be a little weird. I'm gonna warn you now, tomorrow's gonna be a little weird because at about the same time we do Daily Space, the Japanese cargo vessel is going to be separating from the ISS. It was suggested that it be streamed, but, no, I'm not putting her in the trash can. Yes, Hotel Tango Victor 8 is being, Don't bark with your mouth full. Hotel Tango Victor 8 is going to separate from the ISS about the same time that we do Daily Space. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to host the separation of either myself or somebody else is going to, because I just realized tomorrow's a Thursday, is going to host the separation of the HTV8. Hey, shh. And then Dr. Pamela is going to pop in with the news. So, yeah, so we'll just swap. Yeah. I'm just thinking because I'm like, oh no. Oh, yes, yes, yes. All right, and yes, Weekly Space Hangout is tonight. Thank you for the reminders, Arnstro and Astroby. Weekly Space... You are barking literally at the wind. Weekly Space Hangout is tonight. We will simulcast it here on our Twitch channel. Any questions that you do have for the guests or the hosts will be that you ask in our Twitch chat will be relayed to the hosts who in a back channel to where they can all see it. I can't remember if there's anything else special about this week. Oh, there is something else special about this week. Saturday, for sure, for real, we are doing the Bennu celebration stream. I may or may not have purchased even more astronomy-themed beverages last night to complement what I already had. So now I have over like 6 space adult beverages y'all can choose from. And we will I'm thinking we're probably going to start around 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to go for multiple hours. I don't know what time we'll have Karina on. And I've pretty much narrowed down the other citizen science projects we're going to feature because more of you have been asking, we want to do more things. Well, there's other citizen science projects you can do. Are we covering the Antares launch of a Cygnus capsule early Saturday morning? Maybe? Maybe? That's really early, because I think... I want to say yes, but I'm just going to leave you with a solid maybe, because I am going to be streaming many hours that day. And that is kind of early. So... we'll find out. And there's the cat. Falco Online says, I heard something about sub-satellites and how hard it is to keep them like that in orbit. Could the team talk about that sometime? Sounds super interesting. Yes! Let me find my post-it notes or something related to post-it note. Here's my post-it notes. Let me write a physical note and stick it on something. Because slow launch days are a thing. And... sometimes finding news to fill those up is tricky, so sub-satellites. If I can get my pen to work. I know, buddy, I know. We're gonna take care of you soon. That is not a baby. Sub-satellites. Alright. It is officially on a post-it note and on my microphone arm. So, that is my to-do board. Weird, but it works. They're just above eye level, and they don't get lost in the clutter. So yes, Saturday, celebration stream. Saturday morning, maybe a launch party. Tomorrow, daily space time. More spacey stuff, followed by daily space, and I don't know what Friday brings. So I think that's all the things. If you're waiting for a package and you are in the US, Susie has the rest of the US addresses, and oh yeah, that's right, Friday's Astronomy Cast, and I'll be hosting that one. I knew there was something I was missing on Friday. Alright, I'm the simulcast host for Astronomy Cast on Friday. If you're in the US and you're waiting a package for being a rock star or hero or superhero, Susie has all of the US addresses now. We're working on the international addresses. I was hoping to find a way to produce a bunch of customs forms digitally all at once. I can't find a way. So the solution is to individually fill them out one by one online, or to individually fill them out one by hand. The only exception is if the package is entirely paper. Those don't need customs forms. Don't ask me why. So if you're international and you're waiting for stuff and all you requested was paper, you'll be getting yours before somebody that requested like pins or a lanyard, because we do have to fill out a customs form for that. If you requested like a single sticker or an info pamphlet or the Osiris Rex papercraft, I got news for you. If you requested just one of those items, you're getting all of those paper items. This is for Susie's sanity. We like Susie. We want to keep Susie happy. And yeah, I think that's all of the news. Yes, buddy, I know. Here. Would you like to be on camera? Probably not, but feed me, see more. So yes, that is all of the stuff. You do not look happy. All right, so that's all I have for you today. That's a whole lot of stuff. I'm going to take a break and take care of the cat, and then I'm going to go record the podcast. And this will be up on YouTube eventually, and things of that nature. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for your support and your patience, and because I know my house is a madhouse. And yeah. So again, this is a production of PSI, that's Planetary Science Institute, located in Tucson, Arizona. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. Fancy speak for, your donations are tax deductible where the law allows. If you can't... Oh, speaking of donations, we are brought to you by you. So thank you for all of your bits. Thank you for making the jelly beans go away. Thank you for all you do. Thanks for hanging out. If you can't afford to support us financially, that's okay. That's okay. Follows are free. Subscribing to our YouTube is free. Sitting here chatting with us is free. Joining our Discord is free. There are other ways to support us. And just everything, thank you. Yeah, y'all are awesome. So we got a busy week coming up. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on today. So yeah, things and stuff and things. My brain is like, hey, yeah. I think that's all of the things that I need to say. So, yeah, I'm going to just awkwardly roll the credits. So, again, thank you. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful insert time of day here. Why are the credits? Okay, there's the credits. Have a wonderful insert time of day, and I will see you all soon. Very soon. All right. Anybody has any suggestions for who to raid? Now's the time. But yeah, until next time. Bye!